Hey, back with another sort of stream of consciousness update. First things first, I want to announce that I'm going to be releasing the full version of ECW House Party very soon. I've been busy with real life a lot lately, and the early release of ECW at point 0.5 meant I had a lot more to do to officially say it would be a complete project. I haven't really updated on here because there hasn't been as many fancy things that I'd be able to report on. Things I've done is I've set the tag teams and managers. I've set the defaults to ECW style rules, so there's going to be no count out and bloods on by default. I fixed a lot of the entrance weapons. I hit WWF branded, such as the Godfather Cane, Gangrel's Goblet, Albert's Suitcase, and I was able to replace them with weapons that were hidden in the ROM, like the baseball bat, the broken table, and the WCW Revenge style Dakeken giant hammer. The biggest adjustment to this game is I'm using the SK styles in Proven mod, and I'm actually going to be releasing this as the ECW House Party, the SK edition. He released a mod of WrestleMania, which a lot of quality of life stuff was in there, such as allowing the super finishers to be available from Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, which I'll be actually adding a quick video to show you which characters I gave the super finishes to. A lot of little things like the test of strength, you can actually change how it ends. Instead of like the suplex, you can actually give him like a Lucha Libre style takedown. You can change some of the running pin saves, so if a guy's pinned and if you run, he doesn't always do the stomp. You can actually do a Sabu style dive, which really fit in the game. The CPU logic option is available right away with any Game Shark code, so like it would be in the Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, which made this a lot easier to just set the artificial intelligence without having to jump through hoop. And possibly one of the most important things, all the rings have black ropes. Another thing SK Styles that did, and which helped me a lot, and just want to say this would not be possible without him, is that he was able to edit the names in the ROM so that they are full. There won't be any shorts like a Cactus missing a U or Tajiri missing a second I. And it's weird because the way the ROM's set, there's a lot of limited space for the names, and you have to find other space in the ROM that isn't being used, and it takes a little finagling, but all the names are officially there, which it makes it look a lot nicer. This game's pretty much complete, but all that's really left is to work on the stages and arenas, and that's been one of the most frustrating parts for me because I've just been stumped on how to go about it. If you have a WWF and WCW, you go to the old pay-per-views, like there's a lot of quote-unquote personality on the entrances, like you'll have stuff like all these gravestones for Halloween Havoc, or like have the opening gates for old SummerSlam. And if you watch the old ECW shows, like a lot of the personality is just in the entire arena, just the balcony, like the Eagle's Nest, stuff like that. And it's one of the reasons I originally wanted to make this in VPW 2 before I decided not to. That said, I've just pretty much did what I could with the resources I had. I'm going to release 2 preview videos before I make a final release. One's going to highlight the super finishers, just show which wrestlers have which super finishers, and the other one's going to be the preview for the introduction of the game, where I changed that one just so it looks like an ECW game. Like I'm getting the ass kicked by Tommy Dreamer. You'll see the BWO, a bunch of Dudleys, and it'll look a lot better than the first one, which was just I didn't do anything on that at all. After I release this game, I'm going to take a little break, but my next thing I want to do is I want to update the WCW Saturday Night and WrestleMania X with SK Styles WrestleMania 2000 Improvement ROM, and that's going to have a lot of stuff like the full names. Not sure if I'm going to put second finishers in there because I can't really think of any super finishers from that time. I'm going to move the women's spots to the ad slots, so that they can be editable, and for the women's spots, I'll just add managers. WCW, I can get some nice little deep cuts like Gary Hart and Teddy Long, and for the WWF, I'll have the classics like Bobby Heenan and Jimmy Hart, and I'll add Wild Samoan Alpha for the head shrinkers, and actually do have an incomplete version of Sachiro Sherry actually hidden in the WrestleMania X ROM. After that, what I want to do is I want to work on Project Outsider again. Retro Rennie is going to be releasing a public beta of No Mercy Plus, and the big thing is that's going to have 108 characters in total, but that's if I use all the edit spaces. And I know more about editing polygons. They'll go back to the original Outsider, which when I was using just texture mods and emulators and just all the complicated stuff to get the game set up. There's lots of characters from the original roots I want to put in there. I actually made a King from Tekken, which was back in the day. I used to love like going through the PlayStation 2 games, like trying to put the whole Tekken cast in there, and that's kind of a little throwback to that. And that was done by editing the head, so it looked like he had jaguar ears just instead of a flat head. I did something similar when I made Batman and Robin for the original one, and Batman and Robin I put in there because they were actually characters in the Fire Pro Advance 2 for the Game Boy. I put them in the hit Celebrity Deathmatch, and I just kept having these dumb brainstorms, like for Celebrity Deathmatch, I was thinking I could put one of those wing wrestling horror characters like Jason the Terrible or Leatherface. I could recycle some ECW characters from that. I'll definitely have Rob Van Dam and definitely a Sandman, except he'll be Jim, the wacky neighbor from those old WCW Raven sketches. And just some dumb ideas. Obviously, AKA Man's gonna be there, and his evil cousin 2K Man, who is a horrible person who loves DLC, and legends like the WCW Trucker, the WCW Unknown, and lots of dumb shit that'll probably be fun. Anyways, I'm really happy that the ECW House Party is the project's just gonna come to an end. I can get a full release, and I hope you enjoy what's gonna come out.